This is the Big Agnes Divide Insulated sleeping pad. This is the 25 by 72. It's actually my personal sleeping pad. And today I'm gonna park a motorcycle on it. So one of the most common questions Moto Camp Nerd gets is, what is the weight limit for the sleeping pad? Does this sleeping pad have a weight limit? Larger campers like myself are concerned that they might somehow damage or destroy their sleeping pad. So Ben has reached out to several companies, and most of the manufacturers are like, we don't really have weight ratings because we never really needed them. So we maintain that these pads are incredibly durable and can take a lot of weight, but me telling you that is one thing, me showing you that is another. So we're doing this experiment today with a pad that is not even their top of the line pad. In fact, this was my pick for best value, moderately priced, good quality gear. This sleeping pad is made with 70 denier recycled ripstop nylon, and all the seams are ultrasonic welded. So it's very unlikely that a seam is going to pop. So if anything fails on this pad during this experiment, it's going to be the pad itself somewhere, or the valve will pop open, which if that happens, I'll duct tape it shut. So here's what we're doing. I have a pad. I have a sheet of plywood. The plywood is so that there aren't any pokies or anything coming up from underneath, putting a hole in the pad, which would not then allow us to test its actual durability and weight rating. I'm gonna put another sheet of plywood on top of this, which is gonna add even more weight because the plywood sheets aren't light themselves. And then I'm gonna roll a motorcycle up on top of it. We're gonna start with my lightest bike, which is the KLX 230. That's a 300-pound motorcycle. If it survives that, we'll move up to an adventure bike. And if it survives that, I'll stand on it with the bike. I am going to build just a small ramp on the end here for rolling it up so that the plywood doesn't move and roll off the pad immediately. So you've probably seen the videos where somebody rode their bike across one of these pads, and that's a decent test of durability, I suppose, but all it does really is move the air out of the way and then back. It takes advantage of the flexibility of the pad. We're going to compress the whole thing and see how it holds up to constant pressure under the weight of a motorcycle. Okay. KLX 230S, 300-pound motorcycle. Zero issues whatsoever. That's a 300-pound bike plus the weight of the plywood sheet on top of it. It's not even like feeling super compressed. Worth noting that I inflated it to what I would consider a reasonable inflation for sleeping on. I didn't overinflate it, I didn't underinflate it. I just tried to do what I would normally do. Okay, well that went shockingly well. It occurred to me I should have ripped these plywood sheets in half. This would have been easier to see. So I've just moved the pad all the way forward so that you can see it along the edge here. And I'll just keep the bike on the front end. I haven't propped the back of the plywood up or anything. Next test, 459-pound, that is wet stock Honda Transalp 750. I've probably added 20 or 30 pounds of mods to it. So we're pushing 480 pounds here. Let's see if the pad can take it. Supporting the weight of a 460-pound adventure motorcycle, the pad is still reasonably sturdy, no signs of leakage or deflation whatsoever. So now I guess the real test is for me to hop up and stand on this with the bike. Let's just do it. Okay, we're gonna add a 300-pound person to this, which is gonna make it, 700 some pounds. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. The rear of this plywood is not touching the ground, so if you have any questions about whether or not your sleeping pad can support your weight, this is me parking a bike and myself on top of one, evenly distributed weight, and it's just fine. Should I ride across it just for shits and giggles? I'm gonna put a helmet on if I do that. Safety first, helmet on, let's ride across it. Now the Transalp. Let's inspect the pad for any signs of damage. Same pad, no trick photography. I just rode like 700 pounds across this thing, almost 800 pounds. No big deal. In conclusion, if you have concerns about weight ratings of the sleeping pads that Moto Camp Nerd sells. Just know that when I say products are thoroughly tested, curated, and carefully selected to suit the needs of motorcycle campers, this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. These pads are sturdy. This one is only $120. It's very comfortable, has a great R rating, and packs down small enough to work with just about any motorcycle camping setup, and it won't break the bank, which I like. Make sure you pop over to Moto Camp Nerd, check out the most carefully curated selection and thoroughly tested selection of motorcycle camping gear on the planet at motocampnerd.com. Moto Camp Nerd has everything you need to pack small so you can camp easy off your motorcycle. I wonder if I can run this over with my 4Runner. It seems unscientific of me not to try. What the hell? It's still inflated. I'm gonna back up. Well, I'm pretty sure I broke my plywood, but I think the pad is fine. Let's back up and see. Still holding air. There you go, thoroughly tested. Motocampnerd.com has all the gear so that you can pack small and camp easy and survive just about anything, apparently.